anything more? Yes, go ahead.
No, before I continue to my question, I just want to comment that my professor in economics really explained this CAP idea in the way that CAP stands for Communist Agriculture Policy. So basically, I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Very liberal one.
Yeah. I have my question is related to your saying earlier. Well, your definition of transition, and then you continue with Copenhagen criteria, then democracy. First question is, because since of the occasion, after the Berlin Wall, what are the relations between Hungary and Romania, and Hungary and Slovakia? And the second question is regarding carrots for sticks thingy. We have seen the latest, we know Copenhagen criteria towards the potential candidate countries in the Balkans. Example, elections. Elections in Romania, for example, yesterday, the day before, they were not very well, they didn't meet the standards. And the elections in Kosovo, for example, in the Republic of Kosovo, they were they had very high standards. And then the policy of Europe towards these countries in the Balkans is different. And then I also want to give you another medium example of Serbia, for example. Although they are the initiators of all what has happened in the Balkans, we gave them more sticks than we give to other victims of this country. So what is your opinion in this case?
Okay, we can go for perhaps a last round of your reaction and then reaction of Professor Maderis, and then we will conclude. Okay.
Okay, these questions lead us very far away from the original topic, but nevertheless I'm happy to answer them. Probably not everybody knows in the audience that your question relating to Hungarian-Slovak and Hungarian-Romanian relations are probably more about the nationality issue. Hungary has sizable minorities outside the borders of Hungary. There are 500,000 Hungarians living in Slovakia, which is 10% of the population there. We have 1.5 million Hungarians living in Romania, which is 7% of the population there. And all the other neighboring countries have a smaller Hungarian minority. I think with Romania, the relations have improved considerably in the last couple of years. The Hungarian minority party in Romania was part of several governments until 2 years ago, and the Hungarian minority party was a very constructive part of the Romanian government in all the negotiations which led to the, some people might say, too early admission of Romania to the European Union. On certain grounds, one can agree with that, but as a Central European citizen myself, I can only say that for us the pros are far outweighing the cons, because as a consequence of EU membership now, those 1.5 million Hungarians also can benefit from the positive impact of the European Union. I'm not only talking about income support, but even more so, which is in case of Romania very important, that more than 2 million people of Romanian citizens now work in Western Europe, and it has tremendously improved the economic situation of the country. Even today, when there is a recession in many places, and of course these Gastarbeiter are the first to be laid off, not very many people come back home. So somehow they try to survive and maybe lower their expectations, and as a consequence keep sending money back home. even though at this point in time there is no government and it's a kind of political stalemate in many respects. I am more worried about the so-called Western Balkans, probably like yourself, because the developments there are very uneven. In case of Kosovo, you might say that the political situation has improved tremendously, and I agree with that, but the economic situation is as bad as you can imagine. Unfortunately, this still very unclear status of Kosovo, although it has been acknowledged by 67 countries by now, does not lead to a tremendous amount of foreign investment flowing into the country. You have very high level of unemployment in these countries, 40–50% unemployment. So imagine that's simply mind-boggling from our perspective from here. As a consequence, you have mass emigration. A good part of the most mobile and economically active part of the population, like university students, have left forever. There is a demographic catastrophe in Serbia, in Bosnia, in Macedonia, in a few other places as well. And as a consequence, the so-called soft positive power supposed to be projected by the European Union does not create enough attraction for the economies and society there to improve themselves to the extent it happened, for example, in Romania, Bulgaria, because they were admitted to the European Union much earlier. Last sentence about Slovakia. I hope that the present tensions between Hungary and Slovakia as a consequence of a very specific piece of law which was introduced on the 1st of September, strengthening the use of official language at the detriment of minority languages, will be changed sooner rather than later. We are working on that. The European Commission is working on that, first and foremost behind the scenes, of course, because it will be otherwise very difficult to take care of the prestige and high profile of the Slovak government. You may not like the composition of the Slovak government, but it was elected by the people, so we take it as part of realpolitik, and we take it from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And
I'm very glad you mentioned the issue of migration, because migration is crucial not only for economy, but also for mentality, and as a matter of fact also for Europeanization. Not only for the immigrant countries, for the Eastern European countries, which benefit from this migration in several fields, economy, but also changing identities, changing mentalities, changing values. But apart from that, also the hosting countries benefit from this migration. Also, not only economy, but also this Europeanization process goes on. And and now I'm talking about Belgian stereotypes and perceptions of Eastern Europe is also subject to change due to this migration. Migration that not only concerns domestic workers and low-paid jobs and blue-collar workers and whatever, but also students. I think that among us, and at least as I learned about reactions, I think that some of them were from Eastern Europe. Even MPs, we have an Eastern European member of parliament. I wouldn't call you an immigrant, but this shows that
Central Europe.
Central Europe. Yes.
I'm not an immigrant.
No. This is a kind of Europeanization process that is going on, and contact between these what was 20 years ago perceived as different parts of Europe well, this contact is much more intense. And I think that this can be a kind of conclusion, and we could thank the organizers for that, for having us together.